folks, on Spice FM KE on X. Hashtag The Situation Room.
Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Spice up yourself. Mornings done right. 94.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.
Our conversation continues for the next 22 minutes with Brian Rupp, who's the GM for Risk and Insurance at Liaison Group. We are talking about digital transformation and how this is having impact on the insurance sector. How easy it is now for you to get knowledge about insurance products, get to select what you need, also get to interact with people who understand about insurance. Just off of the last question that Ndu had asked, why is it that people do not actually take up insurance? It's a perception issue. And you said that you're doing a lot more work as Liaison Group to create more awareness about what insurance is and also to build trust on insurance. How do you do this? How do you use digital transformation, these digital tools, to increase that awareness and knowledge?
Thanks very much for that question. We are talking about in terms of the market. And I can give you a scenario whereby some years back, we were talking about the motor vehicle certificate. So if you wanted a motor vehicle certificate, you could go and maybe to insurance companies, to a broker, or in that case, or an agent. There are many people actually who bought insurance certificate from River Road. And when it comes to the issue of the claims, then of course the insurance company is not aware of what we have bought. And in the industry, we are quite happy to acknowledge that there is actually a digital way you can actually get your certificate. So currently, we are not in an environment whereby we issue the analog certificate. So you have to go to your preferred underwriter, of course, the preferred choice for the broker, in this case is Liaison Group, and then from there we'll be able to give you a digital certificate. So there is also what we call a mismatch between the insurance industry and the growth in the market. Because as Liaison, we try our best to penetrate the market using the digital transformation ways. But if you go now to the government side, you realize sometimes actually they are behind. If you have your motor vehicle, you are supposed to display your insurance certificate. But on the other side of the insurance, we are issuing digitally. So we are looking in ways whereby Liaison wants to now to transform the market in terms of the digital. So that one for the insurance certificate has been solved. Then we come to the second in terms of the building the trust. We are talking about honoring obligations. I'm looking forward to a situation whereby we tie between the products and the honoring of the claims in implementation using now the digital way. Some years to come, you will see what we call the geopartial being implemented. We talk about the drones. We're talking about if a claim occur maybe in Mombasa Road. So currently you may realize that in one claim there are two people actually involved, but in the claim form there are almost 6-7. So as Liaison, we want to pioneer and see how best now we can maybe in future use drones so that when there's a claim there, then there are live pictures or something like that in terms of the photos, which can relay to insurance companies, and from there now it can be used in court of law. Of course, we know the issue of the drones is regulated by Kenya Civil Aviation, so it's another way whereby as an industry we want to start the market so that this discussion can go even to parliament so that we can work the journey together. Some years back, late Michuki, I think he was the finance minister, and there was people actually who were against the issue of the Safaricom M-Pesa.
Yeah.
And he made a decision and said that this thing must be implemented. So we are looking forward to, of course, the government to support us, so that now we are able to use the digital way. In terms of the products, in terms of coming with ways to penetrate the market using the digital way, we are ahead of the market. But we pray that one day the government will be on our side and the parliament will enact laws that can facilitate that. So to answer your question is that we want to solve the problems of the claims, honoring of claims. At Liaison Group also, we have realized that there is also another problem in the banks. And of course, the banks actually are very good in distribution. So we have another product called e-bank assurance. This is where now the banks actually can use our digital platform to do the renewals, do what we call the claims, because actually you can sell, anyone can distribute, but in terms of honoring of the claims. So we at Liaison Group, not only are we pioneering the 3 minutes that we have talked, but also in the issue of the e-bank assurance, we have a very good, robust product. We have not only implemented in Kenya, we are doing with one of the bank in Kenya. One of the banks in Kenya is using our system, but we are proud to say that Rwanda, Paul Kagame, we have 2 banks that is using our
already.
Yes.
What's the difference between e-bank assurance? Is it the same as bank assurance?
E comes from the word
electronic.
And of course, the bank assurance is the distributions of insurance products using banks. And we are telling them, actually, for you, there's no need to do what you call the heavy investment in terms of the capital. The capex actually you can use in somewhere else, but Liaison can come with this software, so that now we can solve the problems, not of distribution, because actually everyone can distribute, but we want now to solve the problems, settling the claims.
I see. Explain something, Brian. As you were speaking, I was like, okay, wait a minute. Do you actually understand this insurance sector and the players? Who's an underwriter? Who's an insurer? Who's an agent? Who's a broker? And what does Liaison Group do in all those things? What's the insurance ecosystem like? Who does what?
In terms of the ecosystem of the insurance globally, we are talking about it. Started way back we talk about the developed market, the Lloyd's of London, where now it developed the issue of common law and other things. When it comes now to the insurance, there are almost 3 or 4 players. We are talking about the regulator, which is now the Insurance Regulatory Authority. Then you come to the underwriter. The underwriter now are the licensed insurance companies who are the owners of what I can say, not the products, but in terms of honoring the claims. They assume the risk.
Okay. So they're the ones who carry the risk.
They are the ones who carry the risk.
They're the ones who pay the money.
Definitely.
Okay.
Then you come to the another sector, which is insurance brokerage. By license, Liaison is an insurance broker. But in terms of the market value, the value that we give to the market, we consider ourselves as advisory.
Okay.
But of course, for the purpose of insurance, we are insurance brokerage. But in terms of the value to the market, we are consultants.
Okay.
So that is why now we have quite a number of professionals in Liaison Group. So we do what you call the advisory. Now, another element which people...
What does a brokerage do?
A brokerage is a company that is licensed by IRA to give advisory on behalf of the client. And that is why all insurance brokers must have a professional indemnity, because actually they are the people actually who advise the client all over the world.
Your job is to advise.
Our job is to advise.
When I pay money, I'm not paying to the brokerage. I'm paying to the underwriter.
The law is quite straightforward. Since actually we have the professional indemnity, secondly, we are a professional body, then we are allowed to receive premium.
Okay.
And once we receive the premium, then we remit to the insurance company.
So we pay you to take to the insurer.
Not 100% has, because the law actually give a leeway to pay either the underwriter or insurance broker.
Okay.
And from there now, we have another application of transferring or remitting the same funds to insurance companies who are now going to assume the risk, or carry the risk. And of course, there are some other players like agents who actually, the agents actually work through what you call the agency principle, because they represent the insurance company.
So an agent does not work for brokerage?
It doesn't.
An agent is a representative of the underwriter?
The underwriter.
Okay.
From the agency principle.
The broker is an intermediary?
Is an independent intermediary.
Why do you need to have both?
You don't need to have both as a client, but the industry needs both.
Okay, why?
Number one is that for the agents, there are some products actually which agents actually are better off selling, and in terms of the growing the market share, the underwriter may decide now to have what you call a tied agent, so that now they are in full control.
It's like having their own sales force.
Their own sales force.
Okay.
So this sales force actually is very expensive for them to have on a monthly payroll. So what they do is that they give them what you call commission, which is regulated by IRA. And that is where now we need the government to come in and sort the mess, because there are many guys actually who brand themselves as agents. They don't have any papers. They don't have any professional knowledge. And that is what sometimes it is what you call the missile. Yeah. But as a broker, it is quite elaborate. And we want to clean the professional body, so that now we do clean business.
As Liaison Group, as a brokerage, do you work with many underwriters, many insurance companies, or do you work with a specific insurance company?
At Liaison Group, we work with all the licensed insurance company. The rule of thumb is that you must be licensed by IRA, and once you are licensed, then we're able to analyze in terms of your solvency ratio. We analyze your turnaround time. We analyze the capital adequacy in this case, which is equivalent also to solvency ratio. After analyzing all these things, then definitely we come with what we call advisory, and we tell you, if you go this way, then your claims will be honored. But the insurance companies are licensed by IRA, so it is the responsibility of IRA to ensure that all of them actually operate within the law.
And who licenses you?
Same body. IRA.
Same body?
Yes.
Question. The information you've given us is interesting and it's innovative. I am going to assume, let me ask the question instead of assuming. How did you get the data that informed you to pronounce the things you pronounce and to take the view that you have?
At Liaison Group, we have what you call the Research and Development Unit. So, and in the market, these are quite a number of bodies that have done research. And from there now, you are able actually to have what you call informed. Remember, Liaison is a body that interacts with the clients on a regular basis. So we get what you call the first hand in terms of their feedback. So this feedback actually we collect, and then from there now, it makes us to have what you call an informed decision.
Okay. Now, my second question. From the research that you have done, what has that research informed you as to what people actually tell you, or the reasons they gave you for not uptaking insurance products, or simply moving ahead with insurance, yet insurance is so clearly a beneficial thing?
There is an element of affordability, and then there's an element of trust, which I've discussed. I don't have to go back to there. But in terms of the affordability, most of these clients, they say that, okay, they are willing to take this insurance, but they are not able to afford. And at Liaison Group now, the product that we have is that we are able to give you a quite range of insurance products that can fit your budget at that time. But as a country, you have really asked a very good question. If you go to South Africa, the penetration is a bit high. And if you analyze in terms of the per capita, it's a bit also high. If you come to the second country, which is a data that it was from African Insurance Organization, it shows that Namibia, in terms of the penetration, is number 2. Why? It goes back to what I said earlier, purchasing power parity. So some of these clients are willing to take it, but they cannot afford. So we are competing with a lot of needs, but you are telling them for the comfort, because why should you have 2 problems? Sometimes you don't have the money, but misfortunes comes in, then also you can afford to take care of your life. And also in terms of the traditional, let me give you another dimension. When I graduated, I developed a product for my home area because I realized that we are having a lot of fundraisings in terms of the funerals. So it was a very good product for the last expense, so it can be distributed from a circle or something like that. But in between, the Wase told me, young man, why are you planning for us to die? So they say that if someone dies, then the community will come in and contribute. So we are talking about the issue of the trust which you have mentioned. We are talking about the traditional, and we are talking about affordability. But in the next few years, hopefully, the economy will improve so that people actually may be able to buy insurance.
But you touch on something that actually is a commonality in most of our communities. People do have groupings, whether it is church groupings, whether it is SACCO, but they do have them. And people do have a method of contributing, even if it's for funerals and what have you. Now, where the behavior change intervention comes in is how they understand these groupings could be the catalyst to provide that very insurance you're talking about. Because there's something called group insurance. So it stops being an individual seeking this because, as you said, the individual may not be able to afford. But as a group, they'll be able to afford. And it's something that can be worked out. What am I asking? When we think of innovation, if we're talking about our penetration, that is 2.something%, let's say 3. And you're talking about, today I'm getting it right, 97%, okay, is out there, surely. That is a lot of business that is waiting for someone to capture.
Yeah, and it comes now to what the market have been discussing for a very long time in terms of the pricing. Insurance operates from principle of law of large numbers. So the more we get, of course, to the basket, the price will come down. And it goes back to the issue of the knowledge, which we have mentioned. And I agree with you 100% that the group insurance will be able to sort that. And as we speak now, because we are talking about 2008, what I was mentioning about, currently, there are quite a number of people actually who have taken the group insurance. And at Liaison, we say that, okay, the issue of pricing can be solved by digital transformation. What I'm talking about, I'm talking about the AI, artificial intelligence. Today I was driving to this place, and the vehicle actually can, if you drive, the vehicle actually can give you a notice and say that there is a brake. You have seen that? Or my vehicle actually has, most of the vehicles now, it can actually show you the distance between the next vehicle and yourself. And secondly, if you drive a very long distance, they will say, okay, do you want to take a break?
Take a break now.
Yes. So what you are talking about in the insurance, and I hope that everyone is listening in the insurance
This
industry.
vehicle of yours is serious. Yes, but then they go on.
Yes, is how best can we price our product using behavioral?
Yes.
You're talking about someone who is a teetotaler, or someone who is from 6 to 5, and then he goes home. So why should this person pay the same premium?
Premium as I'm living.
I agree. Why?
Yes.
And we are talking about good health. We are talking about someone actually who takes care of his health very well. We are talking about someone...
A responsible driver.
Yes. And another example, and that is why Liaison we do advisory. So there is a company that we onboarded, and the rating was a bit high. So with the support of the CEO then, I had a discussion with him, and I told him, we are paying a lot of premium. Then he said that, how? I say, okay, we can cut now this, we can reduce the premium to this amount of money by almost 60%.
Wow.
And in the industry, they say that, okay, Brian, your rate is so low.
Wow.
The claim ratio at that time when I was taking that company was almost 100 and something plus. And everyone in the market did not want to touch. But I had a candid discussion with the management. And I told them the problem is not the pricing. The problem is your people.
Your drivers.
Your drivers in terms of the fraud and in terms of the behavioral. So what we did is that with the support of the CEO, he gave instructions to the internal security guys, because actually it is a company which I don't want to mention here. But what they did is that the first person was caught driving while drunk. So what he did, he fired and said that first you have to repair the vehicle, and then he was fired. So from there now he reduced his claims because no one could drive a vehicle and they were very careful. So in the market we say that, of course, Kenyans have peculiar habit, but we say let's have a digital way of monitoring now this behavior. If you go to internet, because the ladies actually are more in terms of their buying things from online. They're able to direct you to a place that you frequent. So the
algorithm.
Correct algorithm. If you frequent this website, if you do all these things, they will analyze your pattern. And they will make recommendations and say that this is the place. So at Liaison Group, actually, we are still in the incubation stage to see how best now we can upgrade our digital transformation journey to take care of that.
Brilliant. So you can basically just sort of create a profile of somebody. When I come to you, can tell this is Eric, these are the kind of habits, and this will be his needs.
Correct.
As well, and his insurance needs.
And secondly, is a low risk.
And I'm completely low risk, and therefore I should get insurance for free. Brian Ropp is the general manager for risk and insurance at Liaison Group. He has told us about how digital transformation is having an impact in the insurance sector, how Liaison Group is trailblazing in this particular one, and they're saying, well, everybody else, if you're not doing it, it's okay, but we shall do it and we shall make it work. Go online today, online.liaisongroup.net. You will see how easy it is, according to Liaison Group, for you to get onboarded onto insurance. They're calling it the quickie. 3 minutes only. 3 minutes only. It's 9 a.m. news time.